The Senate Judiciary Committee is holding a hearing today on the Supreme Court's presidential immunity ruling. In July, the court ruled former President Trump cannot be prosecuted for official acts in office. Trump brought the case to the high court in connection to the federal election interference case against him. He then pleaded not guilty in a revised indictment earlier this month. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion has the latest from Capitol Hill. So, Nikole, the Supreme Court settled this. What is the Senate looking into?
Well, they basically want to review this decision. I mean, keep in mind, obviously, they can't do anything necessarily to change it, but the Senate Judiciary Committee, in particular, Senate Democrats on that panel have really remained extremely concerned about the court's conduct on a range of things, from ethics to this most recent ruling. So they wanted to take a deeper dive into it, and so they brought a number of constitutional law experts in, former experts with involvement in Watergate, and a number of other legal experts to kind of really go through this decision and really explore what it means in full, given the decision earlier this year, which in essence protects some of those core presidential powers.
Are Democrats and Republicans sort of driving at different themes in this hearing?
Well, as anything that occurs here on Capitol Hill, everything kind of comes down on party lines, more or less. So this particular committee hearing is no exception. But, there certainly was a lot of concern on the part of Democrats that basically this decision by the Supreme Court over the summer allows the former president, or really any president for that matter, to be left unchecked if there is any kind of corrupt behavior during a president's time in office. And so what does that mean? What are the implications of that? So that's kind of the point that Democrats were making. Many Republicans supported the court's decision, some expressing concern, but for the most part, seeing this as more of a political exercise rather than a judicial one.
President Biden outlined proposed Supreme Court reforms over the summer, specifically establishing term limits and an ethics code for justices, and also to press lawmakers to ratify a constitutional amendment that would limit presidential immunity. Where does that stand?
Well, it's doing just that. It's standing. As we know also here on Capitol Hill, things don't always move quickly, particularly when they're pushed by one particular party. So again, on the part of Senate Democrats, they've been very aggressive in trying to draft a number of pieces of legislation around Supreme Court reform, ethics, and the like. But as you know, in the Senate, any piece of legislation is going to require that 60-vote threshold, and there simply are not the Republican votes to support this type of legislation that's being proposed. So consequently, yes, it's been introduced, but hasn't gone much further than there.
Nikole Killion, thank you.